Hey everyone, happy Thursday. I hope everyone had a great Wednesday yesterday. Today I'll be on for both the morning and the afternoon Zoom. So if you are looking for a little extra help, or especially that morning Zoom, I've been going over almost every grade's assignments during those times. Jump on and join us for those meetings, and I'll try to help out as best as I possibly can. Friday, just a little heads up as we look forward to Friday. Friday's going to be a pretty light load with regards to homework. Not too much stuff going to be sent home on Friday. Gives those that have fallen a little behind some extra time to get caught up, and those that are ahead gives you a little reward, or not ahead, but on top of things, gives you a little reward and can go into the weekend, a nice relaxing weekend. Also, don't forget Friday morning for our Zoom meeting, there's going to be another special guest with a fun activity. So join us. Make sure all those students, I'd love for all of you to join me at 10 on Friday. All right, into our assignments. Today for science, you have a mystery Doug. Today it's entitled Can Animals Laugh? So watch that video and be ready to discuss it during our evening Zoom meeting. So if you're available during the evening one, we're going to talk about what can animals really laugh, and talk about that a little bit more. For your spelling, everyone should be done after today with Unit 29. Today you should be doing the fourth page of that, and be ready for your spelling test. Keep studying over your spelling test. Make sure that you know how to do the spelling test, and it's on that Spelling City link still, and be ready for that test tomorrow. Kindergartens, let's get into yours. Today for kindergarten, for your math, you're going to be looking at coins. Remember, there's four coins that you're going to be taking a look at. There's a penny, which is 1 cent. There's a nickel, which is 5 cents. There's a dime, which is 10 cents. And then there's a quarter, which is 25 cents. We're going to take a look at that a little bit more during our afternoon Zoom session. But you're going to match the coin with how much money it's worth. Then on the back side, you got to do a dot to dot, 1 to 20, and solve that, and figure out which one, or make sure you color it, sorry, as when you're done doing that dot to dot. On your Super Kids today, what we're going to be going over there is the letter N. We're also going to be looking at the word no, and when and how we should use a question mark. We'll also be going over the question, the word, the sentence, which is a question. Is it in the nest? Make sure you pick 2 sheets from that worksheet package on the letter N, and do those again for me. Keep up that good work. You've been handing in some really good work and good coloring and good writing and all that good stuff, so keep it up. First graders, for math today, you have a pretty easy assignment. It's just our review assignment. So you have a fact assessment sheet. That's just your one side of a bunch of math problems. But then on your written assessment, on the first part, number 1, it says Mr. Proto bought a dozen eggs. How much is in a dozen? That's 12. So he bought a dozen eggs, and she used 3 of them. How many eggs does she have left? Well, if she used 3, did she make 3 more, or did she use them? She used them, so that means we had to take them away. So you're going to draw me 12 eggs, cross off 3. And if we're crossing them off, does that mean we have to add or subtract? That is subtracting. So you're going to have 12 minus 3, and then tell me how many eggs were left over. Write that on the line. Number 2, you got to get out your ruler, look at the 1 to 12 side, start at the 0, and draw it all the way up to the 4. Nice straight line. Number 3 is dealing with nickels. Those are counting by 5s. Tell me how much money that is. Number 4, to figure out what number's missing to make 10. And then number 5, you got to draw me congruent shapes, just like we did using those geoboards last week. Like I said, it should be pretty simple there for your math today. For your phonics today, we're finishing up our look at O words. Okay, so on page 191, you have to write the whole word. Now, if you look, there's 4 columns. One is O, letter E, then OA, then OE, then OA. So you know each column, if the OE is in the first column, OA words are in the second, OE third, and OA in the fourth. That'll help you write those words. Number 192, you got to write the word that matches each picture and write it in, and make sure, remember, the middle letter will always be the letter O. 193, figure out what word goes in the blank to finish the sentence. Fill in the bubble next to the circle and write it in. And then 194, rewrite the sentence that matches each one of those pictures that you have there. Again, shouldn't be too difficult. I think a lot of review stuff for you guys today. All right, second graders and Rodney, for your math today, you are the new concept that you guys are going to be going over is a thing called parallel lines. Parallel lines are two lines that that are straight lines. I'm going to do as best as I can without using a ruler, and that would never touch. So these are parallel lines. If I drew these, not parallel, because look at, they cross. But these lines, no matter how long, if I kept moving them out and made them longer and longer, they would never run into each other. We call those parallel lines. So on number 4 down there, it says, trace, get a red crayon out and trace, go to number 3, and you have a shape. I'm going to try to draw the shape on my board here. Oh no, my board is all wet. Hold on. Your shape kind of looks something like this. Which lines are parallel? So, is it this one and this one? No, because they run together. Is it this one and this one? No, because if we kept going, right, they would eventually run into each other, right? It's this one and this one, right? Because no matter what happens, they'll never run into each other. So you're going to trace the bottom line and the top line red on number 3. Okay? So that's what you're going to be doing there on that side. Otherwise, the top problem, you got to divide those markers, 16 of them, between Christina and Michael to figure out how many they would each have. We've been doing that the last couple of days. Number 2, we're talking about Gina. She has a bunch of money. Draw me the quarters or the coins, and then tell me how much money that is. Number 3, remember you got to find perimeter. So what do we have to do to find perimeter? You add up all the sides and write the answer. Number 5, got to look at that sheet that had all of our shapes. We have a pyramid. You got to color that red. A cylinder, which is like a can, color that blue. And a sphere, that's like a ball, color that yellow. Then a bunch of adding and subtracting down there at the bottom. Keep up a good work on making sure you borrow when you should and whatnot. On the back side of your sheet is exactly the same things like they normally are. Just keep making sure you do just different numbers like they always do. Those guided practices are just, you kind of get to do the same assignment twice. All right? So with your language today, your language is pretty simple. You're going to be talking about writing a letter. So on the first part, you have a purple letter on page 188. You got to look at that letter, and they give you all the different parts. You have the date, so you always, if you're writing a letter, you would write the date up, not over here where we normally would. We'd write it up here. So I would write it, oh, my pen is running out. November 11th, 2020. Okay? Then you do a greeting. So the greeting, you go back to normally where you would start and you write, Dear Bob. That's my greeting. Okay, so there I have Dear Bob. It's on that next line. Then it goes into the body of the letter. And that's where you just start writing all of what you're going to write Bob about. And you write it on those lines over and over and over and over there. Okay, and then at the very bottom you do a closing. Your friend. And then when you do your closing, you always put a comma, your friend, and then you write your name underneath it, Mr. H. Okay, so that's the parts of a letter that you're going to be going over with. You have to answer those 4 questions on the bottom of page 188. Shouldn't be too hard, I don't think. And then you're going to flip your paper over, and you're going to write a letter back to String Bean Co., which is who wrote the letter in the purple box. And you're going to tell them about one of the things that it says on the top of page 189. Your family, your school, where you live, or an adventure you have. So you're going to write, just like you have, put today's date, then write Dear String Bean, write your letter about which topic you're going to choose. Write 3 or 4 sentences in your letter, please. Choose a closing. It could be your friend, from, any of those, and then sign your name. Okay, shouldn't be too hard. I'll go over that a little bit more in our Zoom meeting tomorrow morning, but do your best on that to get all those things nice and neat handwriting, okay? All right, for third graders for your math today, you are going to be taking a look at estimating money. estimating money. Let me grab my board again. So if I had a money here and I came to you and I said I have $3.82, and we're going to say how many dollars do you have? Well, $3 is between and 82 cents is between $3 and $4, right? So it's between those two, and which one is it closer to? So we're going to look at that number that's in the 10 spot, which is an 8. And then since it's an 8, what do we use? The bigger or the smaller? That's the bigger. So our $3.82 is about $4. Let me go over one more. Let's say we had my marker's dying. $1.27. Okay? So what's that between? That's between $1 and that's between $2. $1 and $2. What number do we look at? We look at the 2. All right? And because it's the 2, remember 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, we always use the smaller number. So that's about $1. Okay? So that's your new top concept there for your math today. When you look at your assignment, though, today, I don't see anything that's too out of the ordinary, that it will be too difficult. Be very careful on number 9 that you draw that shape, that triangular prism very neatly. It has 2 triangles and then 3 rectangles. Number 17 deals with what we talked about yesterday, so be careful there. And number 18, you're estimating, so like 18a, you round 248 to the nearest 100 and then multiply it by 4. And then for B, you take 19 and round that to the nearest 10 and multiply that by 5. I think everything else, though, there should be fairly easy. I think you should be able to figure everything else out. For number 6, make sure you write those problems vertically, not horizontally, when you write them on your paper. And number 7, still some of us are forgetting to do this. Make sure you always do the parentheses first. Okay? Then for reading class, on page 127, you are going to be taking a look at what word goes in the blank there. So you're just finding out what word finishes the sentence, write it on the line below. 128 is very simple. You got to find the 5 that are spelled wrong and circle them and write them correctly. And 129, another one that's pretty simple. The only problem here are these words are homophones, words that sound alike but are spelled different, like not. Not, N-O-T, is like do not go outside. If there's a K in front of it, that's like tie my shoes in a knot. Okay, so got to be careful that you use them in the right sentence for those 10 sentences there. And then on the back side, you're looking for possessive pronouns. Those are words like their, his, our, her, my. Circle them and write them on the line for the top part for 1 through 5. And at the bottom part, replace that word that is underlined with one of those possessive pronouns and write it on the line. Like I said, not too hard with regards to our assignments today. Should be pretty simple there. On page 105, fourth graders, you have lesson 86 for your math. If you have questions, feel free to get in touch with Mr. Wasser. Okay, and then you guys are on page 106 today. So on 106, you got to read that story called The Family Business. Then you got another cause and effect chart. For on page 107, the effect is Pedro didn't like his recycling job. What were some things? Come up with 3 reasons of why Pedro didn't like his recycling job and write those in the box where it says cause. And then on the other side, it says his sister saved enough money to go to Europe. He bought a stereo. He paid for summer camp. Because he did those things, what happened? Write that on what was the effect? Write that in the effect at the bottom. Page 108. These are words that you got to find all, I think it's 10 words in the crossword puzzle. Some of them are going up and down. Some of them are going to go horizontally. I don't think any of them go backwards, so that will help there a little bit. So find all 10 words and circle them, and then write the word that matches each definition on the side there. 109, pretty simple. Write the word that matches. So for the first line, if it starts with re, there's 3 of them. Write it there. On the bus, if it ends in NESS, write those 2 there, and so forth. So write the word under the correct prefix or suffix there. Then on the back side, 110, each word below is hidden in that spelling word. So like they gave you example, hop. Well, you can find the small word hop in the word hopeful. So like look at ace. Can you go through that list and find the word ace hidden inside one of your spelling words? Oh, it's found right there in the word peaceful. So you write peaceful on the line for number 1. Then at the bottom, you got to answer each question. What is the antonym of health? Antonym, remember, means opposite. So what's the opposite of health? Sickness. Yeah, if you're not healthy, you're sick, right? So that one goes there. All right. I think that should be about it for today. Like I said, I encourage you to jump on our Zoom meetings. We'll go over a little bit more stuff in detail with regards to some of those assignments with those people that are on there today. Otherwise, have a great Thursday. Hopefully this rain will stop and we'll be able to, I heard the weekend's supposed to be very, very nice. So we'll look forward to the nice warmer weather later on in the next couple of days. I hope everyone continues to stay healthy. And again, if you have questions on homework when you're working on it, feel free to get in contact with me. Shoot me a text, give me a call, and I'll help you as best I can. All right? We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye.